Hello students. Now we are going to do Department of Education Sabaragamuwa Province Year End Evaluation 2019 Grade 11 Mathematics paper, Paper 2. So this is 3 hours paper and you already know that you have 2 parts. Each part you have to do 5 questions out of 6. And what about marks? You get each question 10 marks. And you can spend 18 minutes per question because you get 3 hours for all 10 questions. So we'll do this paper. So in part A, first page you get question number 1. Second page you get question number 2, 3, 4. And third page you get question number 5 and 6. So you have to select only 5 questions out of that. Then you can try part B. So part B also you have to answer only 5 questions. Questions 7, 8, 9 in one page, 10, 11, 12 on the other page. So let's try this paper. Let's take question number 1 in paper 2. This is about share market and compound interest is there, so we'll do separately. Vishwa invests 60,000 rupees to buy shares of a company at the market price of 75 rupees per share. At the end of the year, company pays annual dividend of 7 rupees per share. He invests his annual dividend income to buy shares of the same company at 70 rupees per share and got increased his number of shares. If the company pays annual dividend of 7 rupees per share at the end of the second year, also find his dividend income. So we have to find out the number of shares. So the first part, 60,000 invested, market price is 75. So you can first find out number of shares he bought. Number of shares. 60,000 divided by 75. So 25 times 3, 25 times here 2, 50. So 100, that's 4. 0, 0 and then 3 times 8, 24. So 800 shares he bought first. Then at the end of the year, company pays annual dividend of 7 rupees per share. He invests his annual dividend income to buy the shares of the same company at 70 rupees per share. So what's the dividend income? Dividend income, 800 shares, each one with 7 rupees. So 5,600 rupees. Then from this money he buys again shares for 70 rupees. So now the second time, how many shares he bought? Number of shares, 5,600 divided by 70, 80 shares, extra 80 shares he bought. Now what's the total number of shares he bought from this company? Total number of shares is equal to 800 and plus 80. 880 shares he bought. Now the second year you get dividend income. So what's the income now? The second year. So the dividend income $880 into 7. 0, 56, 5 remaining, 56 and 5, 61. So the total number, the income from dividend is 6,160. So how many marks for that? You get 5 marks for the first part. So 800, 1 mark, and then 5,600, 1 mark, 881 mark, and 80 also 1 mark, and final answer is also 1 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 marks altogether for the first part. Let's take the next one, part B. If Vishwa invested his 60,000 rupees in a financial institute which pays 5% annual compound interest without investing in the company expressed by giving reasons, the interest received at the end of the second year is how much greater than or less than the amount received by investing in shares. So if he invested in the financial institute with 5% annual compound interest, so what is the interest he is getting? So first find interest he gets in the first year, 60,000 into 5%. That interest add it to 60,000 and then again calculate the interest for second year. But straight away you can do this. So we'll find out the amount with interest after first year. Amount with interest after first year. Straight away you can find out 60,000 into 105 over 100. Why is that? If you give 100 rupees, then 5% interest. So that means you are getting 105. So 105 over 500. So 2 zeros and multiply by 6, 30, and 6 times 1, 6, 63,000 rupees. Then the interest for the second year. Interest for the second year $63,000 into 5%. 2 zeros, 5 times 0, 0, 5 times 3, 15, 1 remaining, 5 times 6, 30, 30 plus 1, 31. So that's the interest he is getting after the second year. Now this is the interest after second year. So what's the interest after first year? So here you need to calculate again. So this is the interest after second year. So what's the interest after first year? That's 3,000. So you can subtract these two. This is with the interest. So 63,000 minus 60,000, you get 3,000 rupees. So what is the total interest that you are getting when you invest in this financial company? Total interest is equal to 3,000 plus 3,150. You get 6,150. That's the total interest. What's the total interest? Here 6,160. So which one is bigger? 6,160 is bigger than 6,150. So that means investing in shares are more profitable. So investing in shares are more profitable. So how much you get here? So you get marks for this one, finding the interest, 3001 mark, and 3151 mark, and calculating the total, you get another 2 marks. And the final one, statement, when investing in the financial institute, the interest is 10% less. Here we have to write down the amount. It says interest received at the end of the second year is how much greater than or less than the amount received by investing in shares. So investing in shares is more. So you can say 10 rupees less. That one you have to write 10 rupees less. So 10 rupees less in investing in financial institute. So you are getting a mark there, 1 mark there. And the profitable is investing in shares. So 1 mark again for this explanation. Now see whether we gave all marks. So we gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks here. And what about the previous page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 5, 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 2 is about graphs, quadratic graphs. So all values are given here. This time the table is given. You have to plot the graph and answer the given questions. Table prepared to draw the graph of the function y equals x squared plus 2x minus 4 is given below. Using the scale of 10 small divisions as 1 unit along the x-axis and along the y-axis, draw the graph of the above function on the graph paper. Answer the following questions using the graph. So we can first scale it. So starting from minus 4. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. So this is the minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. So this is the x, this is the y-axis. So we can first draw the y-axis. And then you can mark the values. Starting from maximum, positive value is 4. 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, up to minus 5, minus 3, minus 4, and minus 5. And we can draw the x-axis here. Then mark it 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and minus 4. So these are values. So that's the scale, and we know this way 0.1 and this way 0.1 because 1 over 10. 1 over 10 means 0.1 for small square. Now we can mark the points. Minus 4, 4. Minus 3, minus 1. Minus 2, minus 4. Minus 1, minus 5. 0, minus 4. 1 minus 1, 2, 4. Now we can connect it. So the edges like this I can do with a ruler. Only those 2 points I can mark with a ruler, and then smoothly you need to connect. So I'll connect from here. So you get something like this, and here something like this. So that's the quadratic graph. So how many marks normally you get? 3 marks. 1 mark for the scale, 1 mark for marking the points, and 1 mark for connecting smoothly. So that's the graph. And it says answer the following questions using the graph. So what are the questions? If the coordinates x0 is on the graph, write 2 values that x should have. So y value is 0. Y value is 0 means on the x-axis. So what are the values here? I can see 2 squares to the right here, 2 squares to the left. Minus 3.2 is one solution, and positive side 1.2, that's the other answer. Minus 3.2 or 1.2. Then the coordinates becomes minus 3.20, 1.20. Third one, write the coordinates of the maximum point of the graph of minus x squared. Now look at carefully. This is not the same as the given one. Minus, this is minus. So multiplied by minus. What's the minimum value of this graph? The minimum value is minus 1 and minus 5. Now the y value multiplied by minus 1. So look at this one. When you multiply by minus of that, of the previous graph, you get this. That means this is a maximum. So it goes to the other side. All values are changing. So what happens to the maximum? You get opposite side. So plus 5 for y. But the same x value is not changing, only the y value. So minus 1 and 5 is the maximum point. Now see how many marks for this one. So you are getting minus 3.2 and 1.2, 2 marks. And then minus 1, 5, again 2 marks. Let's do the next part. We'll do the next part. Express the function y equals x squared plus 2x minus 4 in the form of x minus a whole thing squared plus b. So completing square method. How you use the graph? So this is the same as the previous graph. Now x squared plus 2x minus 4. So what's the minimum value? Minus 1 and minus 5. So you can easily use this value to write down this in that form. So what should be this value? To get minus 1, this should be plus 1 squared, and minus 5 is b. So this is the squared term. Write the direction and the number of units to be moved with the above graph, that x equals 0, to be its axis of symmetry. So that means when x equals 0, this is the y-intercept. So to get this one as the axis of symmetry, so how much we need to move? Now the axis of symmetry actually is this one. Can you see that? Passes through the minimum point. This is the axis of symmetry. That's x equals minus 1. So you need to get this one, that means when x equals 0 to be its axis of symmetry, that means this should be moved this way. So how much? So how much you need to move? Just by 1 unit. So here you need to move just 1 unit to the right. So write the direction and number of units to be moved. So 1 unit to the right. So you have to move 1 unit to the right to get the x equals 0 as the axis of symmetry. So how many marks for that? This one, writing the equation, you get 2 marks. X plus 1 squared minus 5, 2 marks. And positive direction or 1 unit to the right, you get another 1 mark. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for that question. Let's do question number 3. So that's about volume. And you need to show R equals this, and using logarithmic tables, you have to find out the answer. So let's do the question. The figure shows a right solid metal prism of length L meters, and the shape of the cross section is a right triangular, and the lengths of adjacent sides are x meters. So these two lengths are x meters. This is right angle triangle, right triangular, and length is L. So here this length is also L and the radius is R. Express the volume of the prism in terms of x and L. What's the volume of the prism? Area of the cross section into length. So what is the area of the cross section? Half into x, because this is a triangle, right angle triangle, and then multiply by L, that's the volume, half x squared L, that's in cubic meters. So how many marks for that? 1 mark. Part 2. The prism is melted and without wasting the metal, a right circular solid cone is made. If the base radius of the cone is R and the perpendicular height is L, show that this. So what's the volume of the cone? Volume of the cone is 1/3 pi R squared H. H means L. That's equal to the volume you found before, half x squared L. Because you can make the same thing without any wastage. Now you can simplify. Can you see L get cancelled out? And you need to make R as the subject. So we'll keep R squared here. R squared means you multiply by 3 here. 3 over 2. And pi goes down here. 3 pi here. X squared is up. When you take the square root of this, you get R equals x squared. Square root is x. So 3 over 2 pi inside the square root sign, and you get x. So x you can write in front. So that's the radius in meters. So that's the answer. So how many marks for showing this? You are getting 3 marks. Next part, if x is 13.1 meters and 2 pi is 6.28, find the value of r to the nearest whole number using logarithmic table. So we'll substitute r equals x square root 3 over 2 pi. So it says x is 13.1 square root 3 over 2 pi. 2 pi is 6.28. Now, we can use the table to find out the answer. Take logarithm both sides. Log r equals log of 13.1 plus, because this is multiplication, square root means half. Log 3 is in the numerator, so log 3 minus, this is in the denominator, so you have to subtract 6.28. Now, we'll refer the logarithmic tables. So, we need 13.1. 13.1. What's the answer? 13.1 is 1173. 1173. This is 1 point because this is in standard form. This is 10 to the power 1. Then you get half. Log 3, 30. 4771. 4771. Here 0 point because 3 is there. Then here also 0.628. So we have to refer the other side. 62.8. 62.8 is here. 62.8. 7980. Now what we can do? We'll divide by 2 both the numbers. 1.1173 plus divide by 2, you get 2, and 2 times 3 is 6, 1 remaining, 8, 16, 1 remaining, that's 5, 10, another 5. Now when you divide this by 2, 2 times 3 is 6, and for 19 that's 9, 1 remaining and 9 again. Now we can add these two first and then subtract. We'll do it here. 1.1173, 0.23855. You can put 6. Add it. And then subtract the last part. 3990. When you subtract, you get 6 here and 10, 15, 1 remaining. That's 4, 4 and 9, 13. So 0.9569. And now take antilog to find out the r value. So r becomes antilog. Antilog of 0.9569. What's the value? We have to refer the table where you get 9569. 9569. That's the second table. 9569. 66 is there. So that means 95 and 6. 95, 6. So 95, 6. .95, 6. This is 0 point, so you keep the decimal point here. So r equals 9.056 and the answer should be given to the nearest whole number. So you can say R is equal to 9. So what's the unit? In meters. Nearest whole number. So the answer is 9 meters. So how many marks for this one? So you are getting 6 marks. So earlier we gave 4 marks for the 3 marks here. And another 1 mark for the first part. 4 marks already given. So 6 marks for this whole question, whole part. So we'll see. So you are getting 1 mark for taking logarithm. And then you are getting 2 marks for referring the table. 1 here and here you refer 2 values. So 1, 1, 4 and then simplify and get 9, 5, 6. 9, 1 mark. 4, 5 and 1 mark for the final answer. That's 6 marks for that. So 6 and earlier 4 marks, that's all together 10 marks for the question. Now let's do question number 4. This is constructing simultaneous equations and you have to solve. And the second part, it's about matrices. So let's do this. Prices and the weight of 2 types of soap A and B in the market are shown in the table. Mass of a parcel consists of the above 2 types of soap is 3000 grams and the price of it is 1425. Construct a pair of simultaneous equations by taking the number of cakes of soap from each type. Solve the simultaneous equations and find separately the number of cakes of soap from each type. So we'll take A type, number of A type, that's X. And the number of B types, that's Y. Now we need to construct an equation. The mass of the parcel consists of the above 2 types of soap is 3000. So how can we create an equation for that? 100 is there for A. If X number of soaps are there, X into 100, that's 100X plus 120 grams for B. So Y soaps are there. So 120Y. The total mass is 3000 grams. So that's one equation. Divide by 10 and you can divide by 2. 5x plus 6y equals 150. That's your first equation. Now you have to create another one. So what's the other one? You can take the total price, 1425. One soap of A is 50 rupees. X number, that's 50x. One soap of B is 55. Y number of soaps, that's 55y. The total is equal to 1425. Can we simplify? Divide by 5 and see. You get 10x, 11y. Divide by 5 here. 5 times 2, 10. 42, that's 8. 40 for 25, that's 5. That's the second equation. Now we need to solve the 2 equations. So you have to make the coefficients equal. Which one is it to make the coefficients equal? We can make x coefficient to 10. So this is 5. So multiply the first equation by 2. First equation multiplied by 2. What you get? 2 times 5, 10x. 2 times 6, 12y. 2 times 150 is 300. That's your third equation. Now subtract the 2. We'll subtract 3 minus 2 because this is bigger. So 3 minus 2, you get 12 minus 11. That's y equals 300 minus 285. So what's the value? 5, 10, 1 remaining, 1 there. So 15. Y is 15. Now substitute that in one of the equations and find x. We'll take this one, first one. 5x plus 6y, 6 times 15 is equal to 150. So 5x plus 6 times 5, 30 and 9. 5x becomes 150 minus 90. You get 6. So what is x? You divide by 5. X becomes 12. So what is x? Number of soaps in type A. So number of soaps of type A is 12. Number of soaps in type B is 15. So that's the answer. So we'll see how many marks for this one. X is 12. So that means A type and the other one is 15. So 6 marks for that. So normally you get 2 marks for constructing the equations. 1 mark for the first one and 1 mark for the second. And then you get 2 marks for finding y value and 2 marks for finding the x value. So here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 marks for that. Let's do the second part. So second part, 2 parcels worth 550 rupees each are packed using only the cakes of soap of the same type. Parcel with which type of soap has more mass among them? So 2 parcels worth 550 each are packed using only the cakes of soap of the same type. Parcel with which type of soap has more mass among them? So 550 means you have to check how many a soap can pack. So you have to refer the table. 50 rupees each. So 550 means how many soaps you can pack. For type A, 550 divided by 50. So how many? 11. 11 soaps you can pack. B type, how many soaps? 55 is the price. So 550 divided by 55, you get 10. 10 soaps of type B. Now it says, so parcel with which type of soap has more mass? So if the parcel with type A, parcels with type A soap, what's the mass? 11 times 100. That's 1100 grams. B type, parcel B type, 10 times 120 grams are there. So you get 1200 grams. Parcel with which type of soap has more mass? So this parcel, So 1200 is more than 1100. So parcel B type. B type is more. So how many marks for that one? So 1100, 1200, and the weight of the type B parcel is more. So you get 1 mark for these two and 1 mark for this. So 2 marks. So 6 plus 2, 8 marks already given. Now let's take the last part. That's a matrix question. P is this, Q is given, and PQ is given. Find the value of A. So we need to first check whether we can multiply. PQ means P is 1 row, 2 columns, 1 into 2. Q is 2 rows, 1 column. So the answer is 1 by 1 matrix, just one value. The number of columns in the first one is the same as the number of rows in the second one. So you can multiply. So we'll multiply P, A and 3. This is 5 and minus 2. What you get here? A times 5, that's 5A. 3 times minus 2, that's minus 6. But PQ is given 14. So you can find out the A value. So take minus 6 to this other side. 5A becomes 6 plus 14 is 20. Divide by 5 both sides. A becomes 4. So the value of A is 4. So you get 2 marks for that. 2 marks for A equals 4. So altogether we gave 10 marks for the whole question. So let's do the next question. Question number 5 is about statistics question. So you have given a table and you are asked to find out the mean number of bunches he has sold in a day. So we'll do separately. Information about the number of bunches of green leaves sold by a seller in 30 days is given in the table below. Using the above table, find the mean number of bunches he has sold in a day. So we need to find out the mean. We'll first write down the number of bunches here. Number of bunches 42, 42, 42, 42, 43 to 45, 46 to 48, 49 to 51, 52 to 54, 55 to 57, 58 to 60. And the frequency is given 2, 2, 5, 7, 6, 5, 3. And now we have to find out the mid value. So how you find out the mid value x? You add and divide by 2. So this is easy. 40 plus 42, 82. Divide by 2, 41. That's just adding 1. This becomes 44, 47, 50, 53, 56, 59. And what's the total frequency? It's 30 days. So this is 30. So how you find out the mean? You have to multiply f and x. So fx column. 2 times this, you get 82. 2 times 44, 88. 5 times 47, 235. 7 times 50, 350. 6 times this, 318. Then 5 times 56, 280. 3 times 59, 177. Now take the total. 10 18, 23, 30. 3 remaining. 10, 18, 19, 20, 24, 27, 27 and 16. 43. 4 remaining. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15. 1530 is the total. So what is the mean? Mean is total fx divided by total f. Sigma we take, that's 1530 divided by 30. 1 0 get cancelled out, divide by 3. 3 times 5, 15, 3 times 1. Mean number is 51. So that's the mean number of bunches in a day. So how many marks for that? So you get 5 marks for that. Calculate the mid values, fx, total fx, and divide by 30 and the final value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 marks for that. Then the next part, if he expects to get 18,360 net income by selling bunches of green leaves in 30-day month, what is the profit he gets from a bunch of green leaves? Now here we found out 30-day month. Now for 1 day, 51 bunches. So how many bunches he can sell within a month? Number of bunches. 51 into 30, that's 1530 bunches. The net income is 18,360. So what is the profit per bunch from bunch of green leaves? So profit becomes, he gets 18,360 for 1530 bunches. So what is the profit per one bunch? 153, 153. You get 30. So 306 means how many 153s are there? Multiply by 2, you get that value. So 2 there. 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 15, 30. So that means 1 and here 2. So profit is 12 rupees per bunch. So how many marks for that one? 2 marks. So you are getting 2 marks for that. Next one, if he wants to get 19,800 in 30 days with a profit as above, how many more bunches should be sold per day? So here 19,800 in 30 days. So when you divide by 30, you get how many bunches per day? So number of bunches he need to sell, 19,800 divided by 30, 3 times 6, 18, 1 remaining, and 3 times 6, 18. 660 bunches he need to sell to get 19,800 profit. So number of bunches we found here 660. But from the previous part, the profit he gets 12 rupees per bunch. So what's the number of bunches here? You have to divide by 12 as well, because this is the total profit expense. So one bunch you get 12 rupees. So when you divide by 12, so we'll do here as well. So without writing this, I can straight away, this one I can divide by 12. 12 times 5, 60, and another 60, that's 5. So 55 bunches he needs to sell. So earlier 51 bunches. Now 55. So what is the difference? 55 minus 51, that means 4 bunches he needs to sell extra. How many more bunches? So 4 more he needs to sell to get 19,800 profit. So how many marks for that? So 3 marks for this question. So you get 2 marks here, calculating this value, and 1 mark for finding this one difference. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 marks for the whole question. Let's do question number 6 now. That's a rectangular shaped thin metal sheet. And you have to show the equation satisfied and finding the values using completing square method. So let's do it. ABCD is a rectangular shaped thin metal sheet. Its breadth is 4 cm less than the length. So length is x. So what is the breadth? X minus 4. From the triangle DCE with the base DC and the height 4 cm is cut and removed. If the area of the remaining part is 45 square centimeters, show that x satisfies the equation. So we can construct an equation. What's the area of the rectangle? Length into breadth, x minus 4. Then we subtract the area of the triangle. What's the area? Half into base length. This is x, means this is also x. And the height is 4. Then you get the remaining area. Remaining area is 45. So this is equal to 45 square centimeters. Now we'll try to solve this. Okay, so we can simplify now. 2 with 2. Now expand brackets. X squared minus 4x minus 2x is equal to 45. Simplify the like terms. X squared minus 4x and minus 2x minus 6x. And take 45 to this side. That's minus 45 equals 0. So that's what you need. Now we'll see how many marks for this part. You are getting only 3 marks. 2 marks for this, constructing the equation and getting the equation correctly, another 1 mark. So 3 marks for that. Now see the next part. Find the length and breadth of the rectangle by solving the equation by completing square method or using the formula. So we'll use the completing square method. So what's the equation? X squared minus 6x minus 45. So how you do square method? Take the x term, divide by 2 and square it. Minus 6 divided by 2, minus 3. Minus 3 squared, you get plus 9. So you need to add plus 9 to get the square term. Then 45, when you take it to the other side, this becomes minus 45, becomes plus 45, and you added 9 extra. So you have to add 9 in order to get no difference. Now this one you can write as a square term, x, and square root of 9 is 3. This is minus x minus 3 squared is equal to 45 plus 9, 54. And can we write 54 as a square term? Yes, you can write. Here square term is 9. So 9 times 6. So you can write 9 times 6 here. When you take the square root, both sides, you get x minus 3 is equal to plus or minus this square root of this. Square root of 54. When you take the square root, you get square root of 9 is 3. Root 6 is x minus 3. Now we need to find x. X is, take minus 3 to the other side, 3 plus or minus 3 root 6. Now x is a length. You cannot get a negative answer. Now what's root 6 value? 2.45. So when you substitute 2.45, you get this value more than 3. So here you get a negative answer if you substitute negative. So what's the best thing you can do? You substitute positive value only. You take positive value, 3 plus 3 root 6. So 3 plus 3 times root 6 value. What's the root 6 value? 2.45. So simplify, you get 15, 12 plus 1, 13 and 7. 10.35 is the x value. So what's the question says? By solving the equation, complete square method, find the length and breadth. Length is this, x, 10.35. What's the breadth? So the breadth is 4 less than that. So 10.35 minus 4, you get 6.35. So that's length and breadth. So this is in centimeters. So how many marks for that? So according to the marking scheme, it says you are getting marks for each step here. You are getting 1 mark for this, making this, adding 9, and 1 mark for writing this step, taking the square root, 1 mark, and writing down both values, 1 mark, but here make sure that you are writing only positive value because you cannot get x negative. And another 1 mark here, substituting here, and another 1 mark. So altogether 7 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for the final answer, 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, and previous one 3, altogether 10 marks for this question. Let's take question number 7. So this is about number patterns. Is this arithmetic progression or geometric? So we'll see. Part A, a cyclist starts his daily training for upcoming competitions. Every day cycles 4 kilometers more than the previous day. So the common difference is there. So that's arithmetic progression. On the 17th day, he trained 88 kilometers. So it says 88. So 17th day, 88. And we know common difference is 4 kilometers. And after, he trained 48 kilometers on the 18th day. So that's 18th day, only 48 kilometers. Show that he completes that total training distance of 1000 kilometers. So this is not in arithmetic progression. Here up to 17 it's arithmetic progression. So we don't know the first term, but we know this is 88. So 17th term is 88. So we can find out the first term. How you do that? This is arithmetic progression. So we'll find out if it's 88, what's the first term? If it's, this is 17 there. So first we'll write down the formula. If it's T17, this becomes 17 minus 1, 16 into D. That's 4. 17th day, it's 88 kilometers. So what's A? First multiply by 4, 24, and 4 times 1, 4 plus 2, 6. A becomes 88 minus 64. So 24. First term is 24 kilometers. He ran. Not ran, he cycled. So 24 kilometers. That's the first term. Now we can find out total distance. Total distance traveled for 17 days. S17. So we know the first term and we know this is 17 days. 17 divided by 2. First term is 24 and the last day, that's 17th day, that's 88. So 17 divided by 2 into 8 plus 4, 12, 9 plus 2, 11. So you get 56 times 17. So multiply 56 times 17, 10 and 7. 7 times 6, 42. 7 times 5, 35 plus 4, 39. 952 kilometers. So they are asking the total distance traveled. 952 kilometers first day to 17th day and 48 kilometers on the 18th day. So what's the total distance? Total distance is equal to 952 plus 48. 10, 10, 10. So that means completed 1000 kilometers. So show that he completes the total training distance of 1000 kilometers. So that's the answer. So how many marks? So you are getting 6 marks for that. 3 marks for finding A equals 24. 2 marks for finding this and 1 mark for finding the total. 6 marks altogether. Part B. 4, 12, 36 are the first 3 terms of a geometric progression. Find the number of terms that should be taken for the sum of the progression to be 1456 using the formula. The sum is that. So what's the common ratio? Any term divide by the previous. So you get 3. So positive value and a whole number greater than 1. So you can use SN formula. A Rn minus 1 over R minus 1 because R is greater than 1. Now substitute. You need N to get 456. First term is 4. Ratio is 3. Now simplify. 3 minus 1, 2. And this 4, you get 2 there. Now divide both sides by 2. 7, 2 times 2, 4, and for 8, 16, that's 8. 3 to the power n minus 1. Now take minus 1 to the other side. So you get 729 is equal to 3 to the power n. Now we need to see how many 3's are there for 729. How many 3's? Divide and see. Divide by 3. You get 27, 9, 3 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 to the power 6 is equal to 729. That's equal to 3 to the power n. Same base, you can compare the powers. So what is n? N is equal to 6. When you add 6 terms of this geometric progression, you get the total 1456. So how many marks for that? 4 marks. So 1 mark for finding ratio, common ratio, 1 mark for substituting to the sum formula, and 1 mark here, and finding n equals 6, 1 mark. 4 marks, and previous question we gave already 6 marks. Question number 8. This is a construction question. So you have to take the pair of compasses and the ruler. So we'll do separately. Use only a straight edge with centimeter millimeter scale and a pair of compasses for the following constructions. Show the construction lines clearly. Construct the triangle ABC such that AB is 5 centimeters, BC is 7 centimeters and ABC is 90 degrees. So we'll construct the triangle first. So you take the ruler and draw a line. And then we need to measure the length. Now 7 centimeter, 5 is there. So which one we can draw? We'll take 7 centimeters. So we'll take the compass and the ruler to measure now. 7 centimeters. I'm trying to draw this BC line. So 7 centimeters. So you keep on the number line, the line, and draw an arc here, and then do the same thing for the other side. You draw the arc. So that's BC. What's the length? We took 7 centimeters. Now we can mark the angle. B angle is 90. So here we can draw a 90-degree angle. So how you draw the 90-degree angle? Using the compass. You take certain distance, smaller distance, and then you can draw an arc to this side, an arc to this side. And then what you do? You take a longer distance, and then you can draw an arc above. And here also you can keep the compass here and draw the other arc. So we get the intersecting point. So we can connect this point with this one. That's 90 degrees. So that's 90 degrees here. Now AB is 5 centimeter. So you take the compass and measure here 5 centimeter length, and you can find the point A. So you keep on top of point B and you can mark the A point. Now we construct the ABC triangle. So you can connect A and C. That's the ABC triangle. What's the next step? Draw a straight line segment through B and parallel to AC. So we have to draw a parallel line here through B. So how you draw a parallel line? You can take the alternate angle method. If the two lines are parallel, alternate angles are equal. So this angle should be equal to this side angle. So this angle. So we'll measure the angle using the compass. So what we can do? First we'll draw the arc. We'll take this arc. Then you take the same thing from here. You draw the arc here. Then you have to measure this distance, this length, here to here. This angle size, that should be same as this angle. So this and this. Now we can draw the line. Now we have the line. Now you can connect B with that. You get a parallel line to AC. So these two lines are parallel. That's the second part. Then third part, construct the perpendicular bisector of BC. So we'll construct perpendicular bisector. How you draw the perpendicular bisector? You take any distance more than half the length of this, and then you draw an arc above as well as below. Then keep the compass on other point and draw the other arc. This one, this one. Now we have two intersecting points. We can connect it. So that's the perpendicular bisector of B and C. So we did perpendicular bisector here and the parallel line. So this is parallel to this one. So how many marks for that? So you are getting 3 marks for constructing the triangle ABC. 1, 2, 3. AB length, BC length and the angle 90 degrees. And drawing the parallel line, you are getting another 1 mark. And constructing the perpendicular bisector, another 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks up to this point. Now let's do the next one. Part 4. Take the intersecting point of the parallel line through B, that's this line, and the bisector as O. So where's the intersecting point? So you have to extend the line because we can't see an intersecting point. So we'll extend the line. So this one we can extend. So the intersecting point is here now. So this is O. And construct a circle which goes through B, passes through B and with the center O. So that means radius is OB. So you need to take the compass and keep the compass on top of the center now. Center is O. And the radius is OB. So OB is the radius and now we can draw the circle. So we can draw the circle, passes through B and the center O. Construct a tangent to the circle at B. So how you draw a tangent? So that means now this is OB line is perpendicular to the tangent. So we have to draw a perpendicular line to this. So how you draw that? How you construct? You have to use the compass. So you take the point B, take any distance, and we are trying to draw the perpendicular line. Draw an arc here, an arc onto the other side, and then take a longer distance and keep on top of these 2 points, and you can draw the tangent line. So we'll take a longer length so that you can see the points clearly. So you draw an arc here and keep on top of the other point and draw the other arc. So the intersecting point and B point you connect. That's the tangent line. So that's the tangent line drawn at point B. So how many marks? We have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks for the other 3 parts. So 5 marks for these 2 as well. So we can give 1 mark for showing the center, and 2 marks we'll give to draw the circle, and 2 marks for the tangent. So altogether 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 9, that's about sets and Venn diagrams. So we'll do separately. There are 4 parts. All who apply for the recruitment of technicians in a particular institution should undergo a written test, and those who have passed it should face both practical and oral tests. Those who have passed all 3 tests are recruited as technicians. According to the information obtained, 5 candidates have passed only 1 test. Only 1 test. So look at carefully. This is practical test. This is oral. And the other one is written. Only 5 means this should be in this region. So 5 should be there. Only 1 exam they have passed. And then 27 candidates have passed only 2 tests. 2 tests. So what are those? So this and this. It can be this or this area. Not all 3. All 3 is here. So that's 27. So we can't write it because the sum is 27. And 4 candidates have passed all 3. So this is 4. And how can you mark this one, 27? It's difficult to mark here. We'll write down 27 for both. So somewhere here. Then it says if 16 candidates have passed the practical test. Practical test 16. This circle is 16. Now we can fill easily. 16 is there. This is 4. 16 minus 4. This is 12. Now if it's 12, what's the other side? 27 minus 12. 15 here. Then copy the given Venn diagram with data and complete it. So that's the diagram. Find the total number of candidates who sat for the test. So altogether, how many? So we can add all these inside numbers. So this is 8 also. So we have to count 8 also. So what's the total? You can add it. So that's second part. 15 plus 4 plus 12, 5 and 8. So you get 19, 20, 27. 27 and 17. 44. So 44 applied for this test. Then, so that 44 number of candidates who sat for the test. Then the next one, it says, Navodi is one candidate. She has passed only the written test and the practical test. Written and the practical. Written is here, practical is this one. 1 out of 12 candidates. And it says shade the region belongs to her in the Venn diagram. So you have to shade this part. So we'll take this one. So you have to color this part. This whole region you have to shade. So both practical test and the written test passed both the test. So this is the region. And the last part, so that's the shade, the region belongs to her. So we'll see how many marks for these two steps. 4 marks for writing down all the correct values. So here, make sure that you have this number. Now you can't see that 12 is there. So 4 marks here for the diagram. And 44, that's 2 marks. And shading, 2 marks. So 4, 2, 2, 8. And we'll do the last part. If those who have passed the practical test also have passed the oral test, draw the above Venn diagram again using necessary amendments. So first we'll write down the numbers. 15, 4, 12, 5. 15, 4, 12, 5. Now we need to draw the diagram again. Now we'll draw it. This is the whole sample. And now if those who have passed the practical test, this one, also have passed the oral test. So that means this one should be inside the practical one. So what's the diagram then? A circle here for written test, not the written test, that's the practical test. So oral test all passed, so that's inside. So you have to draw a small circle there. That's this one. And now the big one, that's the written exam. So we'll draw that one. We'll take it and so now we can here just do this one. So we'll make it bigger. So now we'll fill the values now. So 8 is outside. That's here. And this is the written test. So we have to label it. Written test. And what's the practical one? Practical one is here. And this circle is a oral test. Now we can fill the values. 12 plus 4, that's 16. That's here, 16 practical test. So what's here? This is oral. So passes oral exam and written exam. Oral exam and written exam, that's 15. So 15 comes here. And what's the other part? Only passing written exam, that's 5. So 5 here. So check whether it's correct. 16 plus 15, 31, and 5, 36, and 8, 44. So that's the final Venn diagram. So how many marks for this one? So you are getting 2 marks for showing all these values. So 2 marks for that. So we gave 8 marks before, and this 2, you get 10 marks for the whole question. Let's do question number 10 now. It's about proofs. So using theorems, you have to prove, and you have to find out the 2 triangles are congruent. So we'll do separately. ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD. So that means these lines are parallel because it's a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. P is the midpoint. P is the midpoint of the side BC. So this length is equal to this one. The straight line drawn through B parallel to PD intersects the side AD at Q and produce CD. Produce CD at R. Here this point is R. Copy this figure in your answer script and prove that RD is equal to DC. When you look at the diagram, what can you say about this one? Look at carefully. BCR triangle. BCR triangle. Now when you take BCR triangle, this is midpoint. P is the midpoint of that. BP is equal to PC. That's already given. And also it's given parallel to PD intersects. So the straight line drawn through B parallel to PD. So this one is also given parallel. PD is parallel to this line, BR. So we can write down that. PD parallel to BR. This is the midpoint, and when you draw 2 parallel lines according to converse midpoint theorem, what can you say? This is also the midpoint. So you can say according to converse midpoint theorem, according to converse midpoint theorem, you can say RD is equal to DC. So that's why these two are equal. So you are getting 2 marks for that. Part 2, show that ABQ, this triangle, and RDQ, these 2 triangles are congruent. So let's take the 2 triangles, ABQ triangle and RDQ triangle. Now we showed these 2 lengths are equal before. So we'll take ABQ, this triangle. Now can you see this length is equal to this one. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So we can say DC is equal to AB and DC is equal to RD. What can you say about this? AB is equal to RD. So that's one point. AB is equal to RD. And what about this angle? This angle is equal to this one. AQB angle is equal to RQD angle. Opposite angles. Opposite angles are equal. So we have length, this one, and we know this length is parallel to this one. So this is parallel to this one. So this angle is equal to this angle. Alternate angles are equal. So we can write ABQ angle is equal to QRD angle. Alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal when the two lines are parallel. Now we have two angles and one side. So the two triangles are congruent because of angle, side. So how many marks? You are getting 4 marks. 3 marks for showing these 3 and 1 mark for the case, correct case, AAS, 4 marks, and earlier 2 marks, 6 marks we have already given. Now the next one, if BQ and AP lines intersect at S, BQ, we draw these two lines BQ and AP intersect at S. Prove that 4QS is equal to BR. So we'll mark these ones. We showed that these are equal and these two are congruent. So we need to take QS length. QS is here. And now we can write down. So what is BR? BR is BQ plus QR. But we know that according to the congruent triangles, we found out these two are congruent, and we can see this length opposite to this angle and opposite to this angle. So QR is equal to QB. Corresponding elements of the congruent triangles. Corresponding elements are equal. Corresponding elements are equal. Two lengths are equal. So I can write, instead of BQ and QR, I can write that's BQ twice of that. So I can write BQ and BQ, 2BQ. Now I need to show that BQ is double of that. So how can I show that? BQ is double of QS. These two are equal. We can show that again using congruent triangles, these two. So let's take those two triangles and see. This length is equal to this length. Now we found out Q is also a midpoint because this is a parallelogram. This length is equal to this one. And what else? So this is the midpoint, and we found out this length is equal to this length because the two triangles are congruent. So we have to write down that. So Q is the midpoint. So this length, we'll mark it like this, and this length, both are equal. So we'll write down that AQ is equal to QD. That's corresponding elements of the congruent triangles. So these two lengths are equal. So what else we can say? These two are equal. So that means this is a parallelogram. This is the midpoint. This is the midpoint. So these two lengths are also equal. So you can put the double lines. So we can write AQ is same as BP because of midpoints. Midpoints of sides of a parallelogram. Then we found out these two lengths are equal. We can show that, yeah, these two angles also equal. Opposite angles are equal. And what else? We have two sides, an angle, and this angle is same as this angle. Can you see that? These two lines are parallel. This angle is equal to this angle. So the two triangles are congruent. Angle, angle, side. Two triangles are congruent means this length is equal to this length. So you can write double of that. So we'll do that now. So we are showing AQS triangle and BPS triangle, both are congruent. So we can say AQ is equal to BP, ASQ angle is equal to BSP angle, opposite angles. And then QAS angle is equal to BPS. Alternate angles. So these two are congruent. AQS triangle is congruent to BPS triangle. If the two triangles are congruent with angle, angle, side, then what can you say? The two lengths are equal. QS is equal to SB. QS is equal to SB. Now we found out that's equal to QS is equal to SB. So that means you can write instead of BQ, I can write instead of BQ in terms of QS, because in the answer it's in terms of QS. So you need QS. So instead of BQ, I can write 2QS because double of that. So 2 times 2, 4QS. So BR equals 4QS. So how many marks for that? So you are getting 4 marks. So you have to show The two triangles are congruent, and showing that double of this one, everything, you get 4 marks for that. So 4 here and 3, 4, 4 and 4, 8 and 2, 10 marks for the whole question. Now let's do question number 11. That's also, you have to first draw the diagram. That's scale diagrams. And bearing is there and you have to find out the length. So 4 parts are there. A, B, C are 3 places on a horizontal plane. A is located 200 meters due north of B. So if it's B due north, this is north side, how many? 200 meters. So this is 200 meters and this is the north direction. So I'll draw this line, north. It's north direction. Then C is located on a bearing 31. C is located bearing 31 from B. So from B, bearing means the angle from north clockwise. So this angle is 31 degrees. And due east of A. So this is east. So that means this is 90 degrees. Copy the figure and mark the relevant data. Find the length of AC to the nearest whole number. So you have to find out AC, and if AT is perpendicular to BC, find the bearing of T from A. So we can find out AC length now. So what's the AC length? To this angle, this is opposite and this is adjacent. So tan ratio. So tan 31 is equal to AC over 200. So what is AC? 200 times tan 31. Refer the tangent table and see tan 31 value. So tan 31 is 6009. 6009. 6009 into 200. 2 zeros and multiply by 2. 18 and 12. 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 120.18. This is in meters to the nearest whole number. So nearest whole number, this is 120 meters is the AC length. Part 3, if AT is perpendicular to BC, AT is perpendicular to BC, find the bearing of T from A. So that means from north, you need to find out clockwise angle. So from north clockwise direction, that angle is the bearing of T from A. So what's the value? So we know that this is 31, this is 90. So what is this angle? 90 minus 31. You get 59 here. Again, this is 90 degrees, so this is 31 again. Now, what is the bearing? 90 plus 31. So, you get part 3, this is part 2 and part 3. You get bearing from A, that's 90 plus 31. 1, 12. So 121 degrees is the bearing of T from A. So we'll see how many marks for that. So you are getting 1 mark for the diagram. 1 mark for the diagram and 120 meters. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 marks there. And part 221 That's 2 marks. 4, 2, 6 and 1, 7 marks altogether. So let's do the next part, fourth part. Fourth part, it says find the length CT, this length. So what are the information we know? We know this is 200, this is 31 and this is 31 degrees. And what else? We found AC is 120 meters. Now CT, you can use the small triangle. So to this angle, this is opposite and this is hypotenuse. So we can use sine ratio. Sine 31 is CT over 120. So what is CT? 120 times sine 31. Refer the sine table. Sine 31, 0.5150. Now multiply by 120. Put a 0 and multiply by 12. 5150 multiplied by 12, 10 and 2. So you multiply by 1, 2 times 5, 10, 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 times 5, 10. Add it together, you get 61800. Now keep 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get 61.8. This is in meters. So the distance here is 61.8 meters. So how many marks for that? So you are getting 3 marks. Just check whether you gave 7 marks for the previous one. Yeah, so 7 marks there. So 3 marks for this part. So altogether 10 marks. Now let's do the last question in this paper, question number 12. So only 2 parts are there. So we'll do it separately. You have to apply circle theorems. PAQ is the tangent drawn to the circumcircle of triangle ABC at A. Straight line drawn parallel to PQ. Parallel to PQ intersects the side AC and AB at the points D, E respectively. So these 2 lines are parallel. Show that BCDE is a cyclic quadrilateral. So we'll see how we can prove that. Now let's take this angle. This is the tangent. If this is A, this is equal to this. Exterior angle is same as the opposite interior angle. And if this is A, this is also A. Then we can see that exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to the opposite interior angle. So CBDE. So CBED is a cyclic quadrilateral. That's easy. So we can write down PAD angle is A. That's equal to EDA angle. Alternate angles are equal. Then PAC angle or PAD angle is same as CBA angle. That's also A. Exterior angle is equal to opposite interior angle. Now we can see these 2 are equal. EDA is equal to CBA. So that's exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to opposite angle, opposite interior angle. So therefore, you can say BCDE is a cyclic quadrilateral. So that's the first part. How many marks for that? So you get 5 marks for that. And we'll take the next one, part 2. If the circle meets the produced CE at T, so CE produced, this is T, then AB bisects the angle DBT. So we have to connect DBT. So we have to show that these two angles are equal. So we'll mark the angles we marked before. This is A, and this one is A. And what else we marked? So those are the angles we marked. So now what we can say about these two angles? We can say this angle is equal to this angle, same segment angles with the AT arc. So we can write ACT angle is equal to ABT angle. Same segment angles. Same segment angles. And look at carefully now. We proved that CBED is a cyclic quadrilateral. What can you say about this angle and this angle? That's also same segment angles. So we can say ACT angle, same angle, is equal to this angle, DBA. So you can write same segment angles of BTDC cyclic quadrilateral. Now this angle is this angle is this. So now we can say these two angles are equal. So from these two we can say ABT angle is equal to DBA. So that means BA is a bisector of DBT because these two angles are equal. So we can say therefore BA is the bisector of DBT angle. DBT angle. So you get 5 marks for this as well. So showing this one 2 marks, 2 marks and 1 mark here. So 5 marks for this question as well. So this is the last question in paper 2. So make sure that you do all questions and then only watch my video to check your answers.